Hey, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at GLMR. I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your own research before investing money into crypto. Before we get into the video, I want to mention the two donation links in the description. If you want to support Ukraine, feel free to go over to those links. Those are official donation links to support the Ukrainian refugees and Ukraine's military. And obviously, it doesn't have to be, you don't have to donate a large amount of money. Anything like $2, $5, $10 is also good and very much appreciated. So yeah, if that's something that you want to do, the links are down below. Without further ado, let's get straight into the video. So jumping into the daily chart over here, I just threw on a Fibonacci retracement. So we have our swing high over here. We set it in the beginning of 2022 in January, and then we have a swing low over here at the end of February. So this gives us the 0.5 over here at $5.38. We have the 0.382 at $4.16, and we have the 0.236 at $3.02. And that's exactly where we are landing right now. Now, if we are to lose this zone over here and we, lose the 0.236 support level, I would start looking at a lower support over here at $2.70. Okay, that's something to look out for. And GLMR hasn't pulled back that much because some of the altcoins went down quite a bit. But GLMR, that's not the case for GLMR. And obviously, as you can see, we were above the 20 EMA over here during April. We even got above the 55. But since April 20th, we have been, coming down and nosediving basically over here. And yeah, $2.70 is something that I would target. Now, if you were to enter at $2.70, let's say that we went that low, okay? And you would be looking at the 0.382 at 54%. That would be a 54% trade if you're looking for a swing trade. If you're looking, for a quick flip, then that's something to look out for. Obviously, looking long term, we have our golden ratio above us over here. And this is a very important level that we need to break for us to be, almost certain, 99% certain, because you can't be 100% sure of anything in crypto. But once you break the golden ratio over here, right, you break this level, usually you start retracing all the way back up to the swing high of the Fib retracement, okay? So that's what usually happens. Obviously, it doesn't have to happen at all. It doesn't have to happen every single time. But I'm just letting you know that that's what happens. And if you run into this as resistance, for example, you can break it the second time. But if you keep running into the golden ratio multiple times as resistance, you're going to have to start looking for some support levels below. And if you start losing those support levels, this is your potential dead cat scenario because you're printing a lower high, basically. So that's something to understand. But, we're far away from $7 right now. We're sitting at $3, when I'm recording this video. And yeah, so let's look at some long-term targets if, not if, but when this bull market continues. So the 1.618 is something that I want to target at $62. And the 1.618, as my longtime viewers of the channel know, is your technical target after you start breaking your first Fib level over here. And the first Fib level is sitting at $16, and we were sitting at these prices on Binance at the beginning of the year. And obviously a lot of people piled in and bought these all-time high prices. We had this long wick all the way to $50. But once you break the 1.618 over not the 1.618, once you break the first Fib level over here, you can start targeting $62 over here. And that doesn't mean that you're going to get there in a day, obviously. But that is actually let's just get the percentage over here gains. So that's a 284% gains from the previous swing high over here at $16 all the way up to $62. From where we are right now, that would be a 1,000, almost 2,000% gain. So decide for yourselves, whether you want to stick with this project for the long term. And if so, then obviously you want to dollar cost average in at these lower prices, because as of now, you're doing relatively good because you have a high, you have a higher high, you have a low over here, you have a higher low, and then you have another higher low over here. So essentially right now you're still in an uptrend technically on the daily chart. So nothing is really, nothing is telling me that we are going to lose this low, right? Unless we have obviously a long wick down, but that still wouldn't really count. And if this, correction continues in the market and Bitcoin starts going back to $30,000, then yes, I would be looking at $2.20 as another support level for GLMR. So that's something to keep in mind. And obviously the swing low over here is at $1.80. So these are a couple of support levels that you want to keep an eye on. Obviously, you don't have to, set the exact prices that I show you over here. Actually, the opposite. What I usually tell my viewers is to set their buy limit orders slightly above the support levels, because once the price starts coming back down and you set the buy limit order to the exact price of the support, you're not the only one doing that. So a whole bunch of people are going to set the buy order to $2.21. And once the price reaches that area, there is a chance that you're not going to get filled, because some other people will get filled. The price will reverse, right? And you're forced to buy higher. So what smart traders do is they set their buy limit order slightly above. Once the price reaches their buy limit order, the price reverses, and those who were waiting to buy a bit lower are now forced to buy higher. That's just a little trick that I talk about, constantly. So let's jump into the daily RSI now. So jumping into the RSI on the daily chart, you can see that we do have these two support levels over here at 40 on the index and 37.66. You have touches off of both of these levels multiple times over here. And this was a resistance zone that we've had for quite some time. Basically, you had a rejection here, you had a rejection here, you had another rejection here. And after that, you broke through and you haven't really back tested this area as support. So what I want to do is I want to consolidate in this area, potentially have a little fake out, and then continue on with our uptrend. But if you start losing 37 on the index, you're going to start getting pretty oversold. And at that point, you want to buy even more tokens, to be honest with you, because the lower the price gets, obviously it makes sense to buy more tokens. So never have all of your money into one buy order, basically is what I'm saying, because the price can always go lower. Now let's switch over to Binance website. So switching over to Binance, we are on the daily chart as well. And we do have this resistance level here at $5.24. I don't have the Fib retracement here. I'm simply using support and resistance trend lines for those of you who want a more simpler look on the chart. So we have $3.15 because we've had touches off of this area over here, as you can see, and over here, a bounce of support. And the bottom trend line over here, the yellow bottom one, $2.17. You had a bounce over here and you had a bounce over here. So this is a strong support zone that you want to look for. Above us, we have $5.24, which is a resistance level. We had a bounce over here and a bounce over here. So that's why this is a valid resistance level. Let's take a look at some of the oscillators. Now, the stochastic RSI is in the oversold zone below the index of 20. So this tells me that we are, we need to start thinking about getting into this project at this point, because as you can see, once you are this oversold, you usually come back up and you see some price appreciation. So this is the best time to be getting into projects based on the stochastic RSI. Now, if we take a look at the MACD, we're getting pretty overextended to the downside. We had the bearish cross back in April, back at April 10th, and since then we've had a move of, let me just get that for you. Since then, we've had a move of 28% to the downside. So if you saw the bearish cross on the MACD, you saw that the stochastic RSI was actually at that point, the stochastic was in the oversold here. So this is a little divergence in between the oscillators, as you can see. So based on the stochastic, you were getting into the oversold zone. So that was like a nice a nice way for you to know that the asset is getting oversold. But once you compare it to the MACD, you're getting a bearish cross. And usually a bearish cross on the MACD, when the yellow moving average crosses below the signal line, the red signal line, this means, or this tells you that this is a confirmation of the downtrend. So usually after that, a continuation of the downtrend occurs, right? So you get more moves to the downside. So this is when you could have, ignored the stochastic RSI, right? And you could have looked at the MACD and went, well, I may just wait a little bit, and because we have a bearish cross now, we can potentially see some more moves to the downside. This is just how I would think. But yeah, that is pretty much it, guys. If I missed out anything on the charts, please let me know down below in the comment section. Feel free to follow me on Patreon. It's a great way to support me and a great way for you to get more exclusive content. We have buy alerts, sell alerts, low cap gem calls, project reviews, market sentiment analysis, technical analysis requests, all of that. We have a separate Telegram chat for our patrons where you can leave your requests and suggestions. So feel free to check that out. The link is in the description. I'm going to catch you in the next one. Goodbye and good night.